Welcome to another quick riff by the Anodized Chef. I am your host, Steve Anderson. And my question to you is, do you know what the number one reason for cuts from a knife in your household is? Do you know what that number one reason is? It's a dull knife. So I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes and I'm going to explain to you the best way to handle your knives. Not like our mothers and grandmothers used to do. If you remember, you go into the drawer to get the knife out to carve the turkey, and then you'd be sawing away at it. We're lucky we didn't chop the tips of our thumbs off. But what I want to show you today is I'm going to show you a couple different techniques, a couple different types of knife sharpeners, and the proper way to store knives. So as you can see here, I've got a couple of different types of steels here. These are called steels, and this is a tool that you can get in any kitchen store. As you can see, this one's a little bit oblong. It's got a little bit of a pattern to it. And the other ones are completely round, cylindrical. And then I've got my two knives. I've got a boning knife and I've got a chef's knife here just to kind of use as an example. The whole area has been primed for this whole production, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm showing you the proper technique on sharpening a knife. So really, we're going to take our knife, and you want to just run your finger along the edge and just to kind of see, just be careful. You don't want to run it right on it, but you want to be able to feel that edge. And if you do this, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll find that edge, that little sweet spot. I just kind of barely touch it, and I'm holding it good and solid with my right hand. I'm just barely touching. You'll see what I'm talking about. How is that going to cut for you? So then you take the steel, and you can use any one of these steels. You can use the round one. It's really a matter of, you want to have that steel resistance. It's a matter of preference, but you want to have that resistance. When you run your fingers down the steel, you should be able to feel it, the coarseness of it. If it's too smooth, it's not going to work. You want to have that coarseness. So you take the knife, and you hold it at a 45-degree angle, and you just slide the knife down, and then you do the same thing on the other side, slide the knife down. And what you're doing is you're moving that edge of that knife to where you want it, which is right in the center. And the more you use it, the more that center changes, and that angle, that knife actually curves. So when you're doing this, you're actually putting that edge back on. So, and with time and with practice, you'll learn to get that technique down pretty good. And what we're trying to do here is we're just trying to put that edge back in place. We're trying to line it up so when we're cutting, we're not cutting on a rounded surface on the edge of the knife. So, and that's really what that steel is for. But there's one more important step to sharpening that knife. That's good and sharp now. I've got that edge right where I want it. And now I'm going to take a disinfectant wipe, and I'm just going to wipe right down along the edge of the knife, very carefully, not to cut through. But the reason why is because inside, on that knife now, inside this disinfectant wipe, is little bits of steel. And if you zoom right in here, you'll be able to see that. And that's actually coming off the knife. By moving that back into place, it's critical that we wipe that knife down, because we don't want that steel to get into our food. So, and now finally, we'll end this with talking about storage. It's very important that we have either a butcher block or a spot in the cabinet, because if you just throw these in your drawer, they're going to be clanking around and the edges are going to be jumped. So you want to be able to store them upright, either by a knife rack or a butcher block, or have a spot where you can actually store them upright so that they're not just clapping around inside the drawer and wrecking not only all of your other utensils, but the edge on the knife. So thank you very much for watching. Check us out on the AnodizedChef.com for more. We've got some episodes that are worth watching. Thank you very much.